Hello guys, today let's begin with the story of my simulated path to immortality. In the city of Zhangjing of the Great Shen Nation, at the mansion of the Grand Preceptor, a grand birthday celebration was underway. The protagonist of this story, Li Fan, sat at the center of it all. Despite his advanced age, his imposing presence remained unchanged. Over the past 50 years, Li Fan had risen from nothing to the peak of power. Once a poor scholar who had transmigrated into this world with empty hands, he now stood as the Grand Preceptor, a figure whose authority overshadowed the entire nation. Looking back on his life, Li Fan felt satisfied. He had achieved everything a mortal could ever want. The top floor of the manor was filled with music, wine, and dancers. Guests laughed and drank freely, enjoying the rare moment of peace and celebration. Then, a subordinate suddenly rushed in, his face pale with fear. He reported that the sky was ablaze, filled with falling flames, an ominous yet seemingly divine phenomenon. Worse still, the flames appeared to be heading straight toward the city. Li Fan immediately stepped onto the balcony. What he saw shocked him to the core. The flames were not natural. Two figures were battling in the sky. Their presence alone distorted the heavens, as if the world itself could not withstand their power. One of them shouted a name, Dao Xuanzi, warning him not to push things too far. Below them, people fell to their knees in terror, worshipping these godlike beings. But unlike the others, Li Fan quickly realized the true danger. These beings did not even acknowledge the existence of mortals. In the sky, the dark-haired cultivator Dao Xuanzi confronted Kong Hong, a sturdy man with golden hair resembling a lion's mane. Dao Xuanzi demanded that Kong Hong hand over his core formation method, declaring that the fight would not end unless one of them died. Kong Hong scoffed. For nearly 100 years, he had been trapped at the foundation establishment stage due to lacking a core formation method. His lifespan was nearing its limit, and this newly obtained method was his only hope. How could he possibly give it up? Dao Xuanzi agreed on one thing. The golden core Dao was a path walked alone. Countless cultivators were trapped at foundation establishment, and with longevity within reach, there was no reason to show mercy. They had been brothers for 100 years. Now they were enemies. Knowing he was weaker, Kong Hong glanced down at the city below and questioned whether Dao Xuanzi could withstand the immortal mortal miasma created by so many mortals. Dao Xuanzi responded by raising his sword. A terrifying purple blade cut through the sky. Kong Hong countered by summoning a massive golden dragon. The two techniques collided. The heavens erupted. A deafening explosion engulfed Zhangjing, flattening buildings and setting the city ablaze. When Li Fan regained consciousness, everything had changed. His mansion was reduced to rubble. His wife and children lay dead. Bodies filled the streets, and fire consumed what little remained. The once prosperous city had turned into a nightmare of blood and destruction. Less than 1 in 100 people had survived. Li Fan collapsed amid the ruins, laughter escaping his lips, not from joy, but from despair. So immortals truly existed. From that day onward, Li Fan became obsessed with the immortal path. Using the power of the empire, he searched the entire world, from the frozen seas in the north to the great ocean in the south, from the ruinous abyss in the east to the linked mountains in the west. He found nothing. Decades passed. Old and exhausted, Li Fan began to doubt whether those cultivators had ever been real, until he activated his unique treasure, Hanjin. Countless glowing texts appeared before him. When the true becomes false, the false becomes true. Hanjin completed its charge and asked whether he wished to return to the initial anchor point, the moment he first transmigrated into this world. This was already Li Fan's second life. In his first life, he had lived an ordinary existence. It was only after awakening Hanjin that he achieved his unstoppable rise. But this life was not over yet. After stabilizing the ruined city and confirming that there was no trace of the cultivators, Li Fan finally made his decision. Blue light enveloped him as time began to reverse. Scenes from his life flashed before his eyes. Two names remained firmly etched in his mind: Dao Xuanzi, Kong Hong. And that brings us to the end of this part of my simulated path to immortality.